Did we gain anything? Not much, but we did not lose players. It was the first positive month. The month of June was the first positive month after having months of, they were in the red. They were really in the red. So the average players in June was up 1.6% compared to May. Whereas May, the drop from the previous month, April, was minus 21%. So hey, they're still down. This was the first month, literally, since Warzone 2 dropped, that the Steam player charts were not extremely negative. They were up 1.6%, the player base.
For ad-free episodes, as well as early access and bonus episodes, check out our Patreon.
Activision devs do not play their own game.
3,000 devs can't figure out how to add a reconnect feature to a AAA title, I guess. I don't know.
Because Infinity Ward doesn't tell their consumers anything.
Maybe that'll take some of the sweats away from Shoot House.
You can cope about that, for sure.
Thanks for tweeting, at least. Thanks for doing more than Infinity Ward has done. They just keep tweeting about the soccer bundles in the store.
Things that are bad. We got a couple words. Why don't you kick it off, Tanner?
This is going to be a longer section than the first part you guys heard.
Change it, obviously, of course. We are live, boys and girls. Welcome to the Dropshot Call of Duty Podcast, episode number 240. My name is Casey, also known as Razinon. Today, I'm joined by Tanner again. Wearing all black today, by the way. Was that
It's a black shirt
and a black hat?
Okay, so that's all black now. Okay.
As far as on camera, everything you're wearing is black. Yeah.
Okay.
Am I wrong? Did you do that on purpose?
Nope.
You didn't, huh? That's interesting.
I haven't.
Very interesting. So anyway, welcome to the show. Today we are going to be talking about Call of Duty. So before we get into the meat and also the potatoes of this absolute fucking broadcast, I wanted to say a couple things. Number one is, first and foremost, the audio issue does appear to be solved. I listened to our last full episode. I turned off the particular thing, AC unit, and it's all good. It's all gravy. And it was like 98 degrees here too. So I asked my dad, I was like, hey, was it like hot when I turned off the AC? He's like, I didn't even notice. I think it's because we
Especially
keep
if you had it on before, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, we keep the house fucking freezing. So like it heated up, I think like 2 or 3 degrees in that time, but it was fine. We also are, one-story house now. So it's just a lot easier to keep it cool. But anyway, you guys
more
don't
hard
care.
Flooring
the
in the house
fixed. Pardon?
Is there more hard flooring in the house than the old one, or is it like the same?
Yes, also that. Dude, my bathroom is fucking freezing. It is like 10 degrees colder in my bathroom at all times.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy, actually. In the
tile?
winter, it was like nuts.
Travertine?
I don't know, man. You're asking the wrong guy. It's not carpet, I can tell you that.
Oh, nice.
And it's not wood. That's about the end
Something
of
hard,
it.
yeah.
You know what's crazy, dude, is if you asked me to like, let's assume I could draw really well, and then you asked me to draw what the floor of my bathroom looks like, I quite literally have no idea. I don't know what the floor in my bathroom looks like. Like, I don't remember.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people don't really actually pay attention to that stuff. Yeah.
It's weird though. It's like I've been in there a lot, You
don't even know what the color is? Like just like a light beige type color.
I think it's like gray. I don't know.
It's black, dark black, yeah.
That'd be kind of cool, but it's not. I don't think.
Black tile.
I think I would have noticed that. So anyway, welcome to the show. We're not talking about that today. So number one, the audio does seem to be fixed. Once again, I will say though, it is possible that the other unit was the offender, and I just didn't notice it, or it like somehow wasn't on for the last episode. So if you do hear that noise ever again, let me know, because that means it's either something else or I forgot. In either case, I would like to know, and with a timestamp. If you don't give me a timestamp, I'll pretend you're lying. So anyway, number two, the AI clips, they're starting to hit the internet. We made quite a few clips from our Saturday episode. Those have been coming out. YouTube Shorts, they haven't gone viral yet, but I'm waiting for it. I think it'll happen soon. And some of you have been commenting on the YouTube Shorts, commenting for the algorithm.
Really?
Love that. I love that. I love when you do that. And thank you for doing that. And then a lot of you, too few of you probably have been doing that. But some of you, I'm sure, have been liking it or whatever for the algo. So keep doing that. Just if you have already seen the episode and you don't care about the TikTok or the short or the reel or whatever the fuck it's going to be, like it anyway. And maybe fucking watch it anyway for the watch time for the algorithm.
Yeah.
And then comment for the algorithm and then fuck off. But yeah, you need to do that for us to help us. But yeah, we have not gone viral on YouTube yet, but that'll be real soon. And then I'm going to be too big for this podcast and I'm going to outsource my own role to AI.
That'd be great if you did.
Yeah, that'd be, you and me both. But I do want to look at our little analytics here. Yeah, some short, and by the way, shorts don't make sense. Because some of them have like 90 views, some of them have 600. And I don't know why. The RPK is meta on Vondel. That's one of the shorts I titled. And then another one is playlist updates make no sense in Warzone 2. I almost didn't even make that a clip, actually, because I thought it was going to be uninteresting and not good for short form content, but it turns out it was. Have you posted anything lately on Twitter or TikTok?
I think the last one just went live this morning, or it went live. No, it went live last night. That was the last one.
The last one from Saturday, you mean?
Yeah.
Did you ever look at the other clips?
No, I didn't even think we were posting any. You made it sound like they were all shit.
I'm posting them all.
Oh.
No, they're not all shit.
Oh, okay.
They're just, it's not as good for those episodes, but there were still, I think, 3.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, the TikTok one, same thing. Like, the lowest one had 97 views. The highest one had 510. Most are in the, like, 300 range. So
We've only tweeted one of those, right?
No, we've tweeted 2.
2?
3?
Okay.
It was 2 or 3. I don't remember.
Okay, cool. I need to turn notice on for our account. I thought I did, but maybe it just turned it off. I still can't believe Twitter, like, unfollowed my podcast on my own fucking personal Twitter account.
Yeah.
That was so weird. I don't know why that happened. But anyway. Regardless, yeah, we're going to keep doing the short form stuff. Very excited about that. One thing I will say about it quickly, you guys probably don't care about any of this, but it does seem to be a lot better for Saturday episodes than Thursday episodes. Because it generated like 20 clips-ish for Thursday, and I only found 3 that were usable.
Yeah.
So I downloaded and posted those. But
3, huh?
yeah, you should look at
that's
those.
not great. Did you heart them then? The ones you used?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I should have been more clear when I told you though. My bad. But anyway, yeah. Keep expecting those to come out. Keep engaging with them. If you're listening for the jingle, here it is. Got him. I don't think we have any other announcements, by the way.
Yeah,
Really?
I don't think so. I don't think we do. We didn't record the Q&A yesterday, so yeah, that'll be coming sometime next week. We'll probably record that on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what I was going to do. I was going to open up the game and see how many days are left in the season. I'm going to do that.
It's 19.
Okay, so the Season Reloaded has to be coming out in like 4 days. They haven't teased or said anything. Whereas they've been saying something the week before, like every time. Super weird.
You're right.
It has to come out next week. Otherwise, it's going to be 7 days left in the season. So either they fucked something up and it's being delayed, because every single Season Reloaded, even for the updates, the week before, they drop some little tweet or blog post that's like, here's some things to expect in Season 4 Reloaded. They haven't done that.
Yeah. I don't know. That's a good point.
That's super
You're
weird.
Right. Because the Battle Pass continues through the Reloaded patch, yeah. I'm curious. I just assumed, and it felt this way, that Season Reloaded patches are always roughly in the middle of each season. But maybe they just won't do that for season 4, or I think probably more likely, honestly, they're delaying season 5 for some reason. That I don't know. And no one knows because they don't communicate with their customer base. Yeah.
That could be, yeah, because this season was already going to be short. But I don't know. I think of something like to fit the next season 5 and then also season 6 in, they have to be shorter. So I don't know.
Yeah. And they probably want to get all their seasons out actually before the next game so that they can make the most money on them. So they're probably not going to delay it that much if they do. They're not going to like not do a season 6. If they planned on doing a season 6, we're getting a season 6. If anything, they would delay slightly so that they could still fit it all in before the next game, or they would scrap a season reloaded patch, which I would honestly be kind of okay with for a short season.
Well,
like,
no, but yeah.
I'd prefer not to, but I would be okay with it. It's not like we get a ton of shit usually at season reloaded.
Well, it's the only time we do get updates. No, they've been doing bigger season reloaded
updates, I guess.
They've been doing bigger season reloaded updates. If anything, they matter a lot more in this game since there are no updates in between season and season reloaded.
Yeah, that's true.
Like that's
if
when Ranked
weapon
came.
Balance, you have to do it.
Yeah, it's all doing that. Big changes to Ashika, I think the first time came in. It's reloaded. Mike says it says something. The battle pass is coming like 4 or 5 days, so probably lining up. Yeah, I mean that's what I'm expecting. I'm fully expecting it. It's supposed to come next week. It's just I'm saying it's weird. They haven't mentioned anything. It almost makes me think for some reason it's being delayed. Something's not ready. I don't know.
It's a good question.
Because it absolutely should be coming between Tuesday and Thursday.
So I think it's an open question because if this was Raven, I would say it's definitely getting delayed. But also Raven would have already told us it's getting delayed by now. But Infinity Ward doesn't talk to people, so it could be getting delayed and they're going to say it on launch day. Or it could not be getting delayed and they just haven't hyped it up at all yet. So I don't fucking know, but we'll keep you guys posted.
Dude, know what I just thought? Know what would be an interesting discussion for either somehow an entire episode, a Patreon episode, or something on the Saturday episode would be for us to go back and watch COD Next when the Infinity Ward people were up there talking. Because that whole video, that whole VOD is on YouTube. And listen to everything they said and point out what they just straight up lied about now that it's been this long. Because I'm pretty sure at COD Next they also talked about how they're going to communicate much better again this year, all of that. It'd be a great episode, I think, to go back and quote a bunch of things they said that are just not true at all.
That would be fun.
That would be a banger because they did a lot of that. That whole COD Next was just literally Infinity Ward lying to us, so that'd be pretty dope.
Oh, for sure, yeah. And to our infinite credit, we called it on all of that. We said, oh, Infinity Ward's going to talk to us more. Wrong. Don't believe it. I very specifically remember emphatically saying to many of the people in chat who were very excited that Infinity Ward's going to finally tweet once or twice, you guys are wrong and they're lying. Don't believe them.
And they did for the first couple months. Yeah. Then it falls off. And that's what they did last time too.
Was it even months?
It was probably like 2 months.
The first 6 weeks.
Yeah, maybe something like that. Between a month and 2, yeah.
And then they just stopped. Remember we got that blog post about red dots on the minimap? Oh, that was actually pre-launch, I think. I think that was during the betas. But like they were giving us blog posts where they were just explaining why they made certain decisions.
And then at the end of
like
that...
2 or 3 of those.
Well, and then at the end of one of those, they were like... hey, we're listening to feedback. We're taking into account. It's like shaping the decision making for this game. And then there was a whole blog post that was like, here's why we changed the movement so you can't slide and shoot. Here's why we don't have red dots in the minimap, even though all the feedback was the opposite. Right. And they're like, that's cool. Give us feedback, but we're not listening to anything. So yeah, Infinity Ward is a plague to the gaming world, essentially. I'm writing this down. COD Next.
Okay. I hate them. I think they're the worst dev studio for Call of Duty. And any goodwill
they've fallen from grace, yeah.
Yeah, any goodwill they had from like the original MW2, they've lost.
Oh, that
by
whole
now.
Team is gone. Yeah, they're working on X-Defiant and other arcade shooters like that, yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, those people are all gone. Yeah, whatever we have now is a husk. It's an empty shell of its former self. And I hate them. Dog shit dev studio. And it's a real shame that they're the biggest team. I don't know why. Maybe they're the biggest only because they're so incompetent that they require 10 people to do what one Sledgehammer or Raven dev can do. Maybe that would explain it. I don't know, but I hate them. So,
Yeah,
just
not the best.
make sure you guys keep that in mind. But anyway, today we are going to be talking about some random Call of Duty topics. This is one of those kind of turn it on podcasts. Tanner did write a couple things down though. And what we want to go over for this fine afternoon is Warzone Ranked and the state of kind of Warzone in general and COD in general, maybe. Vondel and Ashika. Kind of what we want to talk about because we weren't sure really what we wanted to do today for this episode, because normally on Saturdays, as I've said a lot, we pick a topic, we pick a thing to talk about relating to COD usually. So like, how to do well on Ashika or first impressions, whatever. But all we've been playing lately, and this is still true, but we did play some Ashika yesterday, is all we've been playing is Vondel with a little smattering of Ashika. And that's like all we've talked about for the past number of episodes. So we really couldn't do much more on Vondel today. I did have the idea to do another Vondel brainstorm today, but since we did play Ashika yesterday, I think it's a good idea to talk about that again, because we are on record saying we enjoy Ashika and it's fairly fun. And I kind of want to compare and contrast those two maps as well. What is better, Ashika or Vondel? Because we had our initial impressions on Vondel and how that compared, and if that's evolved and why. And also, as we're going to point out when we get to it, Ashika does have a lot of differences between Vondel, and they are quite noticeable when you go from playing Vondel to playing Ashika. So we're going to list all those things and whether that's a good thing or a bad thing. But we're going to start with, this is going to be focused on just kind of Warzone generally. And, maybe we'll do a Q&A or something next week. Maybe we'll do Season 4 Reloaded First Impressions if that comes out. But this seemed like a good time to kind of get into whatever, Yeah. So we're going to start with Warzone Ranked. And Warzone Ranked is losing some of its popularity. And one thing I notice on like Twitter, for example, is that when Warzone Ranked came out, all I saw people talking about was Warzone Ranked. Mm-hmm. And they were excited to play it, excited to grind rating, tweeting about their rating, talking shit to each other, blah, blah, blah. And there was a lot of content made on it too, like the best ranked whatever setups, shit like that. And now, whenever I see someone talking about COD on the TL, it's usually about Vondel. And occasionally, oddly enough, it's about DMZ, which is weird to me. Because I guess DMZ content, for content creators anyway, is fairly popular, which sort of makes sense to me, based on the player base of DMZ, but still kind of surprising. But nonetheless, it went from seeing a lot of hype about Ranked Warzone to now all that hype has kind of been siphoned to Vondel, which is what happened with us personally. I mean, we were playing Warzone Ranked. It was fun, but it wasn't as fun as Vondel is right now. And Vondel's still fun like weeks after it came out. Whereas Warzone Ranked kind of lost its luster for us fairly early. And I would lay all the blame at the feet of what they've done to snipers. I think I would enjoy Warzone Ranked actually 3 times as much as I would right now if I could use an HCR from Cold War. Like that level, that power level of sniper. Not insane. I don't need a
what? An
Verdansk
HCR
car.
from Cold War?
Yeah, I
fuck
meant to
is
say
that?
ZRG.
Oh,
I meant to say
okay.
ZRG.
I'm like, what?
Like
gun are you
that
talking about?
power level of sniper where it's like if you aim correctly at their head and you pull the trigger, they'll get downed. But also you have disgusting flinch, terrible reload speed, terrible ADS time. So there's like a lot of downsides to it. But if you shoot a bullet at someone's head and you're aiming at it, they're probably going to get downed.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not asking for much is all I'm saying, but I don't have it. It's impossible to snipe in fucking ranked Warzone. It's literally impossible now. And that was kind of the nail in the coffin for me. Actually, it was more like the medical procedure in the womb. I never even got started. I never got really hooked on ranked Warzone, frankly, because you can't snipe. And that's what I like to do.
Well, I think another thing that you're not really thinking about is Vondel released. If Vondel didn't release, we probably would be playing ranked a lot more.
That's probably true. Yeah.
Or, well, maybe not. Or we actually probably just wouldn't be playing the game
Ashika.
hardly. I think we actually just
Yeah.
wouldn't be playing the game that much at all again. Whereas
Yeah.
like now, I mean, I play every single day. But yeah, I don't know. It's the late games and stuff were really exciting, but I have had zero urge to hop on. I have not logged into Warzone Ranked once since Season 4 dropped. And we stopped playing, what, 2-3 weeks before Season 4 even came out?
2 or 3 weeks.
I mean, we only made
Yeah.
I only made it to Gold 1, and then I just lost interest pretty much. Started playing Resurgence more. Yeah, I don't know. And I still just don't care to play it at this point. It's just we should have got a ranked mode like literally 2 years ago. The game,
Yeah.
BR in Warzone 2 just isn't fun. It's way too slow. That's why Resurgence is so much better. So it's boring to play that whole time. I don't know.
You know what else would get me to play ranked a lot more? Warzone. It's actually this simple, and it's tragic that they didn't do it. I've said this before. Have the fucking skins for the ranks in ranked Warzone. So I could get like a cool skin if I get like Crimson or something. That would get me to play ranked Warzone more.
Yeah, that's one of the biggest things people don't like the rewards. Someone in chat just said that. Yeah, Biggie just said that
you
too,
either
actually.
It's like you either get, what is it? Iridescent or top 250 even before you get like anything noteworthy.
Yeah.
I think there's one operator skin, and that's not even tied to your rating. That's just tied to how many games you've played. So I don't even remember the rewards, but they were cool, but there just weren't enough of them.
There needs
And
to
the
be like
ones
cool weapon
between-
camos and stuff.
Yeah. Like I played more multiplayer ranked than I would have played because I needed to win an extra like 10 more games to get just the basic operator skin. And that got me to play 10 more multiplayer ranked games I would not have otherwise played. But that no such incentive exists in Warzone Ranked. It's almost like you get top 250 or you don't play at all. I mean, none of the rewards besides that are like worth it. I'm going to pull them up right now. But yeah, that as someone who's more casual when it comes to Warzone Ranked anyway, that is another thing that has not enticed me at all to play. So if I'm not going to get a cool reward for playing Vondel or Ashika or Ranked, well, then I might as well play whichever game mode's just the most fun, and that's just Vondel. So, yeah, there's just no extra incentive to play Ranked, I feel like.
Yeah, and it's just, you know, the game endings are really exciting. It gets super intense, but the game early on is just so boring and slow, and I don't know.
And when you die before getting to late game, as we've pointed out, it's just not worth it for how fun the late game is.
Yeah.
Because I agree with you. The late game of every Moz match is super fun if you get there. But if you die because someone parachutes on you and beats you to death and you don't hear it at all, and you've already spent like 12 minutes in that match just looting, not worth it. Just not worth it.
Yeah.
Like it's not worth it to get to those really fun end games.
Yeah, and Biggie's right. You get a better reward for completing that last raid, which a lot of people did. A lot of people played that raid to get that animated camo that you see people running all the time. Like, if people don't have Orion, they run that usually, if they've gotten that. Like, the people grinded for that to get it. Because that raid, I think, was pretty difficult. I never did it, but I have Orion, so I'm never going to run that camo. But, yeah. True. Yeah, you get an actual better reward for completing a raid that, I don't know, how long would it take people? 2 to 3 hours maybe at the most, if you're, well, probably even longer if you're really dog shit. Than you get for getting top 250 in Warzone Ranked, honestly. Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah. So there's only one skin. It's Reach Rank 50 in Warzone Ranked play. And it's a really cool skin, and I would really want it, but I'm not going to reach rank 50. I think most players have not even gotten that yet. Maybe that's not true anymore, but that the rank 50, by the way, is just the star system. It's not tied to your rating at all.
By the way, I didn't realize going into season 4, because I didn't pay attention to multiplayer ranked, that the number rank stays throughout the seasons. Which is kind of weird.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
That's why all the top 250 guys started the season, they're already level 50.
Oh, well, that makes how slow it is make more sense.
But it's also just dumb. Why would it stay? So then those rewards for that, I don't even understand how that works. Because didn't they make more rewards for this season? So if you're already hit rank 50, what even happened at the start of season 4? You just got all of those rewards automatically? I don't even know how that worked. Doesn't make any sense that your rank stays the same through seasons, because it should show, I think, your rank based on the season, the reset. But I mean, I don't really care. I just thought that was actually very weird. Because when I logged in this morning to check, and it was again the first time I'd logged in since since halfway through season 3 reloaded, it had my rewards that I claimed, my gold thing, and I was rank 9.
Yeah. Okay. So there are also placement rewards. So the ranked play Warzone rewards, again, you don't get anything except one operator skin at 50, and then in the interim you get
Send me the link.
shit.
Post the link.
Weapon. I'll put it in the notes. Weapon fucking charms and stickers and calling cards. And there are some blueprints that are kind of cool. I've seen a ranked play, I don't remember, Vaznev, Warzone Ranked Vaznev blueprint that looked kind of cool. So that's for, I don't know, rank 25 or some shit like that.
Yeah, but it's a blueprint. So it's whatever
but it's a blueprint.
It's dumb.
Yeah, and these aren't tied to your rating. And then for the things that are tied to your rating, now keep in mind, in multiplayer, every rating you get a new operator skin and other things based on the rating you got. So it would say platinum competitor or some shit like that. And they look really cool, especially as you get higher up in the ranks. But
this is the
Warzone
old
ranked
one.
play. Yeah, that's for season 3.
Oh.
Placement rewards are a pro issue weapon blueprint, which is what I talked about, and a weapon charm. Who cares? So there's the only rewards that I care about, in fact, are the ones that are not tied to my skill division at all.
Yeah.
I don't know if the season 4... I know the season 4 ones are different, but I don't know if they're, better. Let me look. I have a Charlie Intel article here.
Yeah, I'm looking for an actual Call of Duty one. Season 4, it'll probably be in here. Where is season 4? Season 4 patch notes. I think it was in here. They talked about it. Warzone Ranked play. Okay. So let's see. Finish top 15 25 times to get a large decal. Finish top 5 25 times for a pro issue Lockman sub blueprint, and they probably don't even have it set up how most players in Ranked run it.
Right.
Finish first place, you get a team wipe weapon charm, so you just get first place one time. Get 25 kills, you get a sticker. 250 kills, you get a loading screen. Ooh. And then get a
Christ.
get 1,000 kills or assists, and you get a Warzone Season 4 ranked veteran camo, which I think is that cool looking camouflage camo. That is dope. That one is cool.
Okay. So you don't even get an operator skin anymore for Season 4 anyway.
It's that, I guess. And then of course just like the weapon charm and emblem if you hit,
Yeah.
Gold, platinum, diamond, crimson, yeah. This is really it. I guess this is everything. Those are the rewards.
It's crazy.
Yeah. It's pretty nuts.
And then the season division rewards, which are the ones that should be the best and the most meaningful because they're actually contingent on your skill. It's like you get, hold on, stop scrolling.
I exited out of it a minute ago.
Yeah, whatever. I don't remember what it was, but they were dog shit.
Yeah, they're pretty dog shit.
They're like, do you still have that link? Let me see the link.
Here, hold on. There you go.
All right. Yeah. Because I want to point this out because, again, it's so different than the multiplayer ranked rewards. So, yeah, you get all the shit Tanner was talking about. Those are the challenge rewards.
Yeah, this is the skin, I think.
And then the seasonal division rewards. So if I end top 250 for Season 4, I get a Warzone Season 4 top 250 weapon charm, emblem, and calling card.
Which is cool because it says top 250, but also you get this. It's the same thing that someone in gold or someone in platinum gets, basically. Yeah. Get a weapon charm.
Yeah,
emblem.
By the way, yes.
Yeah.
So if you finish in gold, you get a gold weapon charm and emblem, platinum weapon charm and emblem, and then once you get to iridescent, you also get a calling card.
Yeah.
So like that is kind of cool, and I would rock a top 250 like calling card, or even like a fucking iridescent one. Like that would be cool. But
oh yeah, of course.
I'd much rather have an operator skin. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I don't know. The juice isn't worth the squeeze for me in terms of the rewards, and they just did it so much better in multiplayer, and it pisses me off. But anyway, whatever. But yeah, so those are some of the reasons we kind of haven't been playing Ranked Warzone lately.
Actually, yeah, here's the multiplayer. Season 4 win rewards. 5 wins, you get a sticker. 10 wins, you get the Vaznev blueprint. 25 wins, you get a weapon charm. 50 wins, you get a lock it down, a weapon decal. 75 wins, MW2 ranked play Season 4 loading screen. Why do they put that so high up? That should be 5 wins. You're
weird.
the only person that sees that.
Yeah,
what is wrong with you guys? Holy shit, you guys
insane.
just can't do anything right. And then 100 wins, Season 4 ranked veteran weapon camo. So you get a weapon camo for 100 wins in multiplayer, but there's no weapon camo at all in Warzone ranked play. Am I understanding that correctly?
That seems to be the
Certainly
case.
Seems, yeah, right?
And also, you can put a weapon camo on any single gun.
Exactly.
So you're not like beholden to their dog shit weapon blueprint rewards. So even that's cooler. Because it's like, oh, look how good I am at multiplayer. No matter what gun I'm using, I can use this Season 4 100 wins camo. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like if there was a top 250 weapon camo you could apply to any weapon, I would rock the fuck out of that. That would be really cool. Or even like iridescent and crimson ones. Again, these are things, I don't know. Maybe it's just because we play the game, so we realize that these are important. Because half the time, by the way, you don't see anyone else's emblem or calling card. Because the kill cams don't work. And you can't see the calling card or emblem anywhere else. So if they don't kill you, if they do kill you, you have like a 20% chance of seeing their cool top 250 calling card. And if they don't kill you, you have a 0% chance of seeing it. Whereas an operator skin, everyone sees it, including you at all times. So even a weapon camo would be way better.
Oh, I guess you
it's
do.
Just crazy.
Yeah, it's the 1,000 kills in Warzone. You get the camo. They just only say camo.
Got
so
it.
for some reason, I was thinking it was like an operator skin. Whereas for
weapon camo,
for MW2, they say specifically weapon camo, and then they forgot about it here. Yeah, so you have to get 1,000 kills in Warzone Ranked to get the weapon camo.
That is pretty cool. But again, that's That's like, that would be the most attainable reward for Ranked Warzone I could get. And that is a lot to ask for me.
Yeah.
You know? Whereas with multiplayer, there were some rewards where the investment was commensurate with my desire to earn the reward. That is just not the case here. So I think that's why a lot of casuals just are not playing this mode. Because there's not like much cool shit to get besides the very, very top end stuff. You know? I don't know.
Yeah. The way they have it set up for rewards, the only people incentivized to play ranked are people who are good enough to get top 250. The average player who can grind to platinum has no reason to play. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. But also, do those people even really care about ranked in general, I wonder? If you're like getting a hard stuck platinum, I mean, do those people really... I would find it hard to believe you even want to play a ranked mode, but...
What I would say, I bet you those people do exist, and here's who I think they are. People who don't like Resurgence, and they really like big map Warzone BR. And when they go to play, they think, well, we might as well do ranked if we're going to be playing Moz anyway. So then they don't really care that they're hard stuck platinum. That would be my guess. And in fact, that would be me too. Like I've said before, if I was ever going to go play Al Mazrah right now, I'm only playing ranked. I'm not playing pubs Moz. That seems insane. I might as well work on that rank 50 operator skin if I'm going to go play Moz, you know, especially if that carries over throughout seasons, because then eventually I would get the skin, you know. But also it's more gratifying to play for rating. It's more competitive. It's more intrinsically rewarding if you do well. And the stakes are higher. It is more fun. So that's another thing I guess I should say, is that I will say Ranked Warzone is a lot more fun than pubs Warzone. And Ranked Moz is still a lot more fun than pubs Moz. Ranked Moz is a lot more fun. But the problem is that, yeah, Resurgence is just more fun. And yeah, so anyway, our opinion, by the way, is not just a casual opinion and we're the only people that think it. Many of you have maybe if you were playing ranked have stopped by now. That seems to be very common among the average player. But also even top 250 players are kind of getting sick of it. So yeah, Tanner's compiled a couple of little things he's seen on the TL.
Yeah, let me pull this up here. Yeah, so you can definitely tell the player base. Like you said, even going from Season 3 Reloaded to Season 4, I feel like people, including us, expected a lot more changes. Like, Season 4 came out, and they gave a few new rewards, and that was it. Like, there were hardly any restrictions. In fact, going into Season 4, I don't know if there was a single added restriction. The restrictions that we ended up getting, explosive ammo, Dragon's Breath, all came prior to the launch of Season 4. So they had talked like big in the Season 3 Reloaded blog post saying like, you know, this is just like a start. It's in beta this season. It'll fully launch in Season 4. I actually think they still say it's in beta. But then like they launched Season 4 and it was the exact same rule set. Like there was nothing different, I don't think.
Yeah, they really haven't done much at all.
Yeah, so like one of the things, I guess launchers are still not banned in ranked. Again, we haven't played it at all in Season 4, but this is the new thing is I've seen, like, I used to see clips of like really good clutches in Warzone Ranked. Now the Warzone Ranked clips that I'm seeing on Twitter is one, it's either a clip of someone dying to a cheater, because cheaters are, I guess, rampant right now in ranked play.
Or stim glitching.
Or two, people using Strellas. And Strellas are insane. It's like they have 5,000 velocity, it seems. You barely have to aim up, and it one-taps someone with a direct hit. And it's pretty easy to direct hit someone, especially in ranked when a lot of people like on roofs just hanging out or in windows. It's not that hard to hit people. And there's splash damage as well, so if you hit them at their feet, they're going to get like one shot down to it. And I've been seeing these clips for like 2 weeks. They're still in. I don't get how they have... Like, what... There was something in Season 3 Reloaded that, like, really quickly Treyarch banned. Trying to think what it was. If it was like a streak,
the broadside,
bomb drones, something
Broadside
was like
later,
banned.
right?
Yeah, that was like just this season, I think. But it's like there are still launchers.
Holotherm. Is that what you're thinking of?
Yeah, I
Thermal?
guess that's one of them. Yeah, but so now there's like a bunch of people running around with launchers, I guess, because I keep seeing clips of it, and those are still allowed. I mean, why were launchers ever even allowed in the ranked mode?
Which is completely antithetical to competitive ranked play, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's cheesy and brainless too. Like, that's why people are obviously annoyed that it's in there. Yeah, you see those clips, and then I've seen 2 of them in the past like 2 days. No, it was like the past week, I guess. But one clip, it was a Twitter clip from Devious.
Yeah.
And the caption he wrote was, "This might be the most insane Warzone win ever," or something. So I press play, and I'm expecting Devious to get like a crazy clutch where he team wipes one team, and then like team wipes another one, and then he gets off a self-res he shouldn't have been allowed to, and then he wins the game by like throwing a helicopter at the last guy. That's what I'm expecting with that caption, right? But, and then by the way, no disrespect to Devious, which I'll explain at the end. So then I watched the clip. That is not at all what the clip is. In fact, I don't see anyone else ever in the clip, because it's him in the final circle. He's in gas. The other person is in gas, and it's a stim glitch off. So they're both evidently running around, opening medicine cabinets to get stims, opening duffel bags to luckily get a gas mask. And he's doing this for like 90 seconds. And then eventually it says Warzone victory. He wins.
Yeah.
Because the other guy must not have found as many gas masks.
It was a whole
stims.
team. Yeah. It was him versus a 3-man.
Oh, okay. Oh, that makes
it better. And all of
them
died, I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, he was getting lucky. I think he found 2 gas masks. He was finding stims. I think he found a couple self revives just from running around totally in the gas and looting. Yeah. It was pretty cool. So it's like it's not even the stim glitch that we've known too. It's just there are so many stims. Exactly. There are 2 guaranteed stims in every medicine cabinet or medical chest, like on the wall of bathrooms, that there's so many you can continue to stay alive for a while.
Yeah, so a couple things, by the way. Number one, again, no hate to Devious, because that is an insane clip. It's just not what I was expecting to see. And also, what the fuck else is he supposed to do in that situation? Like, he played that perfectly. That was the best and only thing he could have done. What is he going to find 3 other people on Al Mazrah when he has no idea where they are? Like, he had to do that. So I'm not hating on him. It's a good clip, and I would have posted it too.
Yeah, no, it was smart.
The problem, yeah, exactly. The problem, of course, is that this is not how stims should behave in Warzone. And this is especially not how they should behave in ranked fucking Warzone. And the frustration here for me is that we already solved this problem in Warzone 1, where the gas just does more damage per tick if you're in it for an extended period of time. So eventually, the next gas damage tick you will take is 150 health. So you can't stim through it. You just die in 1 tick. That's how they solved this problem before. But, which Infinity Ward loves to do, they love bringing back problems they've already solved in a smart way and reintroducing them to the game.
Raven solved it. They introduced the problem in Warzone 1 and never solved it.
And so then they made Raven clean up the mess. That's a good point. Yeah,
Infinity Ward devs should not work in game development.
I don't think they should have gainful employment, honestly. Anyway, deport them. We should deport them. That's what I think.
Deport them to
Sentinel Island. So no government has to take care of them, because they shouldn't be cared for. They're miserable people. Anyways, yeah. So that's another thing too. Is like, this is fucking annoying, and it happens to us even on fucking Vondel. People are doing these dumb stim plays or whatever. Mm-hmm. And it's like, dude, didn't we figure this out, guys? like Activision, even. Like, help me. Someone help me. But of course, that's just not what's happening. And then Bobby Poff had another Twitter clip where it was a good clip. But by the way, fuck Bobby Poff or whatever. He had a clip that made the rounds a couple of weeks ago. I think we talked about it a few weeks ago, where he said, where like he died even though he was going for a nuke with like pistols only.
Oh, this was like 3 or 4 months ago. This was a long time ago. Yeah.
Was it that long ago?
He got mad because someone killed him. Yeah.
He got mad because people were playing the game. I don't know. It was so insane to me and entitled. It really rubbed me the wrong way. So fuck that guy. But anyway, he did have a great clip recently where it's him and I think one other guy alive. Final circle. So the entire map is just gas. So he's like seat swapping and stimming. The other guy I'm sure is doing the same thing. And he says in the clip, he's like, I think I know where he is. So he drives over the overpass by downtown, and he did know where the guy was. So he gets out and he snipes the guy, and the guy dies and he wins the game. And it's like a pretty long clip. So he was like in the gas a long time to be able to do that. It was pretty nice. But again, it's like, this is not ranked Warzone. This is not skillful gameplay from the other guy. And we've lost because we're not fucking, we don't know every single medicine cabinet or duffel bag. So when this happens to us on Vondel, we just get fucked, I guess.
Well, that's not they're easy to find, yeah, but the person doing it to you already has it in their mind that they're doing it. So they're already stocked up on stims and everything.
They already have.
And then we find out at the very end. So then we have to run into the gas with our durable and then start getting stims. And we find a bunch of them, but we just can't get them quick enough to survive because this guy has a backpack full of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the issue could literally be solved by dropping the guaranteed stims in a medicine cabinet from 2 to 1. I'm almost positive that would solve it.
There are a lot of things they could do. Yeah, that would be one of them. Yeah, we don't need that many stims. I agree.
That's the thing. No one's going to be mad if you take out the guaranteed stims. The only thing they are used for is doing this. Yeah.
Yeah.
No one seriously uses them.
Just have it be like a guaranteed item. And it could be a stim, but it also could be any of the other things it could be right now. So like a self or a flare or whatever. Maybe that would introduce too many selfs and flares and shit. Maybe it would be very common that stims come out, but instead of 2, it's now only 1. That would be a decent solution. But again, this is coming from people who play the game, so it's obvious that this could be fixed easily, but it's obvious to people who play the game, which the Infinity Ward devs obviously don't. So this kind of mars ranked as well.
Yeah.
And we don't play ranked, and certainly not top 250. I haven't been watching that many streams of this lately either, but I can only imagine how often people in ranked have to deal with this. I would imagine it's like every other game, actually. Because it's a really easy way to like place pretty well, if you're shit.
Also, though, you gotta think most like high-ranking players aren't doing it really. They're like playing like a legitimate way and trying to kill and do that. So I feel like if anything, you would probably see it more at the lower ranks. People just fucking around. But yeah, so here's like one thing. There's been a lot of people talking about this. The first one I found though was Iceman Isaac. He tweeted, this is 2 days ago. He tweeted, ranked is starting to feel a little stale. Pretty sad, by the way, that people have this opinion 2 months after Warzone Ranked launched.
Yeah,
when games like Ranked Apex have been alive for 3 years.
And not stale at all. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so Ranked is starting to feel a little stale. Then he points out some things. Getting taps for SR, cheaters on the rise, drill charge / Semtech spamming, the report exploit equals stream snipers. I don't know what that means. What does that do, stream snipers?
I imagine that means, remember how we talked about if
stream snipers get into the game and they keep reporting you.
Just to spam report you and get you kicked out of the lobby. Yep. Yeah.
And then underwhelming ranked rewards, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so getting taps for SR, we've talked about this. I don't really know how they fix this. Honestly, I don't really have a good idea on what they do to solve this. And this is something, again, I think we had a Patreon episode in Season 3 Reloaded where we were like, we expect a lot of changes to the way SR works in Season 4. Like, they're going to change something with the taps, they're going to change something with the full kills, the assists, because this is weird, everyone in your team having to put a bullet into a downed person to get the full kill. Season 4 launches, there's not a goddamn thing that changes with it. Pretty weird.
Yeah.
I don't even know what you do aside from, honestly, lowering the entry fees so everyone just doesn't need as much SR at that point.
But they would still be doing it if they could gain more SR by doing it.
Yeah. So I don't know how you fix it.
I think this is not a perfect solution, but I think it's better than what we have now. And I think it's the best I can think of right now. Is that you don't get assist credit unless you did damage to get them downed. So if Jake full downs someone that I don't even see, and then he pings him and he's like, hey, finish him. And I finish him, I just don't get any assist points for it. That's not perfect because
that'd be better.
Thirsting people can be meaningful or it can be trivial depending on the situation. And the system has no way to know that. But I think this would be better than what we have now. Because again, this is what I've said very early on. This seems really tedious and dog shit and boring. And that would be one thing that would bother the fuck out of me too. It's like, so this is another thing that slows the game down too, by the way.
Yep. And that's what a lot of them talk about. Yeah.
Yeah. If you're in a building, like 40 meters from me and you down some guy inside of it, and I'm like trying to move to the buy station to buy us a UAV or something. It's like, oh, well, I have to go back here and just shoot one bullet at this guy because I want the SR because it's SR. But if you're not playing ranked, you would just keep running to the buy station and buy the UAV. You would necessarily be playing faster. You'd spend less time having to backtrack, run up to taps, etc. So I think the best thing they could do is just have the score system be the same, but if you do damage on someone who is already downed and then you full kill them, that doesn't count as an assist unless you did damage to get them downed. I think that's the best solution. It's pretty easy. Maybe there's a better solution if I sat down and thought about it a little more, but I think that would be the best thing they could do.
Yeah, because it's
pretty
just
straightforward.
It's annoying and it does completely ruin the flow. When you run into a building, you guys are all fighting different people. One guy gets a down, and then he has to think should I just run away and try to help my teammate get another down while he's getting shot and fucked in the ass? Is he going to be mad if I get this full kill? Things like that. Because early on, you would go to streams and you would hear this argument all the time. People were actually getting mad at their teammates. They're like, stop fulling him. Let me get the points. And they're like, oh, well, you weren't close. Because people will run from far away to get their tap. They'll run, 50, 75 meters just to get their tap real quick. It is dumb and it does ruin the flow of the game. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And then cheaters on the rise. Yeah, it's free to play game with an anti-cheat, but never going to be enough.
Kernel level anti-cheat, by the way.
The drill and Semtex spamming. Yeah, so funny enough, I actually saw one of the few gameplay clips I've seen recently was Hisoka. He loves putting lethals in his backpack. I saw this clip. He opens up a door because he knew some guy just ran in there, and he heard them drop prox mines or something. So he opens the door, he runs back, he throws a Semtex, blows up the prox mines. He throws another Semtex, and he opens his backpack up. He has 4 stacks of lethals in his backpack.
Jesus.
Including frags. So he banks 2 frags off a wall. He's hitting every corner of this building. Then he throws both of those in. He equips 2 more, throws them in at another angle. Then he equips his Semtex, runs through the door slightly, throws one to the left, which is the only corner he hadn't thrown it at yet, and sticks the guy with the Semtex and then ends up getting it down. He threw 8 lethals in 20 seconds into this building. And again, backpack system was never a good idea. It's not a good idea. They don't implement it correctly. They never will. They're brain dead, and they should have never added this to the game because they don't know how to figure it out.
True.
So.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I agree. I like you said, the backpack system, and we've said this a million times, it could have been done well, but they didn't do it well, and I have no confidence that they'll fix it at this point. So now I'm at this stage where I want a total reversion to the Warzone 1 loot system. I can hold every type of ammo, everything's in a designated slot. I can only hold one streak. I can only hold one self-res.
Yeah, it would help with the
I
streak
can only
spam
hold
too.
one type of lethal. Yeah, it would help with the streak spam too. At this point, there are things they could do with the backpacks that I would actually like more than that system, but they'll never do them. So I'd rather they just go back. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And this is only going to get worse, by the way, because yeah, it's smart to be stocking up on lethals and spamming the fuck out of them. Why wouldn't you do that?
Yeah.
Like that's what smart players are going to do, and I don't blame them for doing it, because if the game allows it, and you're playing ranked especially, of course you should do that.
Yep.
But is it fun? Is it skillful? Not really. No. Just kind of dumb. And like this works in a game like Apex, where there are fewer people, far fewer people, first of all, in a match. And also there's way more health. So you can like spam lethals in Apex, but you're not gonna stick someone and get a kill. It's not. I don't even know if it's possible in Apex to do that. It's just like lethals help you soften people up or like finish someone who's very weak, but you can't just spam them in a building to get a kill like you can in this game.
Yeah.
They're different games, so it just doesn't work.
Yeah. But yeah, so moving on, this it got a lot of comments on this post, and a lot of them I agree with, so I'm just gonna read some of them. They're just from random people, but this guy said, Ranked was exciting when it first came out, but it isn't something that'll keep the player base interested long term. That's exactly what I said, yeah. Like Dr. Disrespect said, let's take a shit game and throw Ranked on it. It'll only get you so far, yeah.
Yep.
Exactly what I said prior to Ranked's releasing.
That is what you said, and one cope I made about this point, which is a good point, but what I had said was, well, if there is Ranked, that would put more pressure on the devs to fix the game better, in a better fashion, and more quickly than they otherwise would, because now there's rating on the line. The streamers are going to get even more mad, dying to dumb shit or whatever, than they used to in just unranked. That was my cope thought process behind why Ranked might in fact help Warzone a lot. But I underestimated the complete apathy Infinity Ward has for the player base. Yeah. And there is more pressure on them to fix the game. There are more people who are big streamers or whatever that are getting mad at the bugs or the dumb mechanics in the game because now they're losing rating. All of that is true. But Infinity Ward just still doesn't care at all, obviously. And we've seen that. The game hasn't changed at all. Mm-hmm. By the way, it's been, 11 days now since we've gotten literally any patch? Cool. So yeah, I thought Ranked might create enough pressure for them to actually start doing things more often and making better solutions. I was wrong on that point.
Yeah, it just sucks that, they've been off work for, about 38 days because they had all of Pride Month off, and then they had the week off for 4th of July. So they haven't worked in 38 days, basically. Yeah. So Infinity Ward,
what it seems like,
tweeted 3 days ago. It was a playlist update. Then they tweeted 10 days ago. It was a behind the scenes of the music for season 4, just what we all care about. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. These were scheduled
before that,
tweets,
it was a retweet.
Way.
Before that, it was a playlist update. Before that, it was talking about their hiring. When was the last time they really tweeted anything? Yeah, I don't know. It's been literally weeks. Call of Duty updates, the updates account for changes they're making in the game, has not tweeted since June 27th. So yeah, we're talking a week and a half there.
Why make the account, dude? It's been almost 2 weeks.
At least tweet and say we're aware of some of these issues. I did actually check on the Trello yesterday for some things. There's nothing meaningful on there.
Yeah, of course.
They just...
Is the bug where I can't go forward out of the plane on the Trello board?
Of course not. Nope.
That's hilarious.
Because I looked at that before I made that tweet yesterday. I was like, I wonder if this is on the Trello board. Of course not.
Yeah.
It's...
Yeah.
Why have a Trello board? Why have a COD updates account? Why have
we
social
again
media at
have
all?
worse communication than we did during Caldera. And I don't get
far
why.
worse.
I guess it's just like Raven's not allowed to say a lot of things probably because like they're not the ones in charge. So like I guess they can't just point out and I don't know, tweet about things. Like even Ted, he used to always tweet about shit in Caldera, and got, you know, pushed back on a lot of things, but he continued to tweet. He doesn't tweet about anything game related anymore. People used to like say things to him and he would like reply. He doesn't do that shit at all. So I don't know if that's just because
conversation with our community.
he had a conversation with a lot of people. Yeah. He had numerous conversations with Jake.
Yeah. yeah.
Me personally,
Which,
I wouldn't
you
be
know,
standing there.
And
Wouldn't be
again,
standing behind that wall, yeah.
I can't believe that exchange. Yeah.
In real
like
life,
that.
yeah.
Like that point, you know, we hated a lot of the things they tweeted, but at least we knew what they were doing, what they were planning on doing, what they knew, what they were aware of, and what they were thinking of doing in the future. But now we just have no idea. We're just totally in the dark. We don't even know if the Season Reloaded patch is coming when the game says it is.
Yeah.
Like that's how in the dark we are. And this is a AAA dev studio. I don't know. It's crazy to me. But anyway.
We're still live on YouTube, right? Yeah, okay.
Did your
I
internet
accidentally clicked out of something. I wasn't sure if I was gonna fuck up YouTube.
Oh.
No, we're good.
Yeah, we should be good.
Yeah, so pretty wild. So then moving on, that guy said that. Another person, and this again goes back to the casuals playing it, or like the lower ranked people. This guy said, being a gold 3 blot and getting stuck in a lobby with Shifty, FIFA, and Sage, hella takes away the allure to me. First of all, don't say hella. In case you guys don't know, Shifty, FIFA, and Sage are all probably top 10 on the top 250 right now. And then Isaac responded to that and said, yeah, there just aren't enough player at the high ranks, and they're not willing to make the queue times long enough to really lock down the rank restrictions, which is absolutely true. Which is weird, though, because to find a match in Caldera, you queued for 7 minutes. But I guess they just won't make you wait that long at all.
Yeah, I remember that era.
Play.
Yeah. There was more strict. Yeah, the SBMM in Caldera was stricter than the ranked system is in fucking Warzone 2.
Right?
Very cool. Yeah, they need to make the queues longer. I agree. Because, if you're fucking gold 3, you should never... At this point, like early on, I was very forgiving of this because everyone's rank was settling. Ranks are fucking settled now. If you're gold 3, you should literally never see a top 250 player ever in your lobby. You are so far away from that rating that should never have to happen. It shouldn't. Yeah. And the way to fix that, like Isaac pointed out, is to just make the queue times longer for top 250 players or just high ranked players in general. And by the way, this is a thing that high ranked players in every other game understand, expect, and put up with. Like you watch any streamer play a ranked mode in any other game. I'm thinking of I had an example and I lost it, but like Hearthstone is one. If you're like top 10 legend in Hearthstone, you're going to queue for like 4 minutes sometimes, which is long for that game, by the way. Whereas if you're, bronze or whatever, 25, you instantly get a match. But you should expect that if you're a higher ranked player, because they're trying to find someone of your rank, and that should be okay. And how much would it really dramatically change the queue times? I don't think it would be that big of a deal. So, But yeah, Infinity Ward just doesn't. They're either unwilling to do it or more likely they don't even realize that's a potential solution.
Well, they don't even realize the problem exists.
Yeah, exactly. And it just defeats the purpose of a ranked mode if your rank doesn't matter and you're still going to be facing the same people either way.
Yeah.
Because again, if you're gold 3 and you're in a lobby with 3 top 250 players, I'm not even trying to be hyperbolic. Your rank literally doesn't matter at all in terms of who else will be in your lobby. It actually has nothing to do with it because gold is way too far from top 250.
Yeah.
If they were like Crimson, totally understandable. Even Diamond, maybe. But gold?
Well, I mean, you
Bro,
can't.
We're so far away. We're so far away from top 250.
Once you hit as a diamond or crimson, you can't play with people below that. So how come you
you're
get
not
in
even
matches
allowed to
with
play
them?
with those
So
people.
so
That's
literally
a great point.
a bronze player, you don't even have to be gold. A bronze player can be against a all top 250 team in a match. That probably happens. There is a bronze squad, I'm not kidding, in literally every single match a top 250 team plays. There has to be.
100%.
But
And
they
it defeats
can't
the
queue.
purpose of ranks
But
at
that
all.
top 250 player can't queue with a platinum or diamond player in their own lobby. But they can destroy kids that are in bronze. That are hard stuck bronze too, by the way. Not that just started playing. People that are hard stuck bronze after weeks. So, moving on. Some other guy said, ranked is an imaginary number attached to what is a fundamentally bad game. It was never going to be the fix. Yeah, true. Again, ranked would have done a hell of a lot better in Caldera and Verdansk.
True.
And then Husker said this on an unrelated thing a couple days ago. We really do need a new massive BR FPS to drop. Warzone interest viewership keeps dropping month after month. Not entirely true. And it seems like the same with Apex and other titles. Give me that fiery passion to grind for 120 days nonstop again. Yeah, it's pretty, like, we're in Warzone 2 with a ranked mode. And these people are like less willing to grind than they were in Caldera. Because there were wagers and shit. So they were like making money doing this stuff. That's the other thing you don't have in this game for the competitive scene is their wager matches do not exist. Because I think it's just there are not enough players. They don't care about it anymore because most of them don't like the game.
I think it's just the audience isn't there for it anymore. Yeah.
If you played Caldera any day ever, you would get in lobbies with kill race kids playing wagers. I'm like, we ran into this
trios
every single day because like Lag or someone who was super like invested in everything and he knew everything. He would always say like, "Oh, quads is going to be super hot today. There's like a kill race. There's like a $10,000 kill race going on right now." And some of the times back then we would VPN too, and everyone doing a kill race is VPNing, so we'd get put in lobbies with them.
I remember one time there was a trios tournament, and I was playing with two other people, and Lag or L, one of those two would know. And they were like, "Oh, there's a trios tournament going on right now." I remember this so vividly. It was on Caldera. And I said, "Oh, okay. Well, hopefully we don't see them." So we queue for trios. Like 5 minutes into the match, some streamer that one of those guys recognized just dumps all of us. And then we were like, "Oh, okay, well, I'm just going to queue us for quads and we'll just play trio quads." And we did, and it was way easier because there wasn't that tournament going on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. So that used to happen all the time. Yeah, now it just does not happen anymore at all.
Nope.
Which is kind of interesting, though, actually. I do wonder why they stopped doing that. It must be just because...
it's low interest from the players. No, it's low interest from the players because there's this one girl, I think her name is like Miss Know-It-All or something is her name, is her Twitter account. She put on a bunch of tournaments in Caldera. She was always the one hosting the tournaments. And I've seen her tweet out numerous times in this game, like custom lobby tournament, like X amount of dollars. This day, here's where you sign up. And so many times, like a day before the tournament, she's like, "It's canceled. We don't have enough signups." And people are like, "Holy shit." Because like there aren't even enough signups to fill a custom lobby to do it. And then kill races, I don't know why those really don't exist. I don't know. I don't know. Because if they're still making
if you can't
money.
do the UAV spam shit, I don't know.
Well,
or they can now, I guess. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, but they can't split.
Yeah.
I don't know why it is. I think it's just actually a lot of them don't care about the game. A lot of those wager kids also just don't play Warzone at all anymore. They've moved on to other games a couple months after it launched, and they'll never come back.
That's true, too. Yeah, a lot of the people who participated but weren't, like, big streamers. I do wonder how many people, like, you know, I always point to FaZe Kaylee, who used to play Warzone, like, only. And always, and a lot. She's really good. And, you know, a while ago, she just stopped playing. She was like, "Nah, Warzone sucks. I'm done." Same with Nick Merckx. The controversy notwithstanding, long before that, he was like, "I'm done with Warzone." Dr. Disrespect, I think, too. He used to play, like, every day. I don't know. I don't watch his stream, so I don't know if he still plays or how often he plays, but if he does play at all anymore, it's not as often as he used to. Because like all these people, it used to be every single day, Warzone, Warzone, Warzone. I wonder how many other streamers and like people who would be participating in these wagers or these custom lobbies or whatever have just stopped playing because the game is just not as fun anymore.
There's a lot of them.
I would venture to say it's a lot.
Like Pie Man's cracked too, and he doesn't play ranked. If this was Warzone 1, he would be playing ranked mode, but he just plays Resurgence. He plays Resurgence and uses a SPR and a shotgun, and he'll quick scope people close range, get them one shot basically, and then just shotgun them or get throwing knife kills. He's really exciting to watch.
Yeah, Pieman's a great watch. He's really fun to watch.
He may be the most exciting Warzone player.
Him or Neo?
In Warzone 2.
I would say.
Yeah, I haven't checked on Neo in a while, but Pieman, I still see his clips all the time, and they are... I mean, he'll like jump off a roof, do a 360, throwing knife some guy, then he'll hit the ground and be down, self-res, and then finish the guy off. He has some wild clips, but... Anyways,
he's great.
So then, kind of moving on to the next little topic, I had the idea because I was thinking, I wonder how like Warzone Ranked is doing, like search-wise. And I've seen people talk about like Google Trends before, so I Googled Google Trends, and I looked something up for the first time, and it's pretty cool. So basically, how it works is you type in like some sort of keyword, and it'll show you the search history for that word, how often it was searched, basically on their own scale. That's from 0 to 100. So 100 means like that basically it's searched a shitload. 0 doesn't mean it's not searched at all. It just means it's searched such a low amount of times that there's like no data for it, is what it says. So I pulled some of these up because I was interested how these are looking. So we're going to start here. This is Warzone Ranked. This is the search history for it. This is people Googling it. So you can see it launched in May sometime. So that's when it was at its highest peak, like around middle of May, like May 16th or something. Its peak. Before that, pretty damn low. I don't know if they had even really announced or teased Warzone Ranked much at the beginning of April. But the beginning of April, before it was like announced or teased, is searched as often on Google as Warzone Ranked is right now. Like you can see this sharp decline. It's right but down there to just no one gives a shit about it anymore. It went from being like the most popular to just nothing already. So yeah, it does feel like people don't care. And according to like what's searched online, that is definitely true. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
So sharp decline there. This has been the last 90 days.
And then just precipitously fell.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yep.
So you can look at this on YouTube. I got the charts pulled up. So then moving on to the next one, I was like, I wonder how Vondel's doing. So Vondel, of course, there was no searching at all for this prior to the map releasing. No one would ever think to search the word Vondel. So it comes out, immediate huge spike up to 100, and Vondel has way more interest on Google than Warzone Ranked has. Like pretty much double the amount of searches. At least double the amount of searches Warzone Ranked has. So it's definitely far more popular right now.
Yeah.
It's staying steady right there.
To today. Yeah. To like right now.
This is right now. It's staying very steady. Like around that 50 mark out of 100, whereas Warzone Ranked is what? Like 20?
Warzone Ranked is at like 20. Yeah.
So then I was like, I wonder how Ashika's doing. So here's Ashika. The interest has always been right in the middle. This, I did last 90 days. Ashika probably came out more than 90 days ago because this starts April 8th.
Yeah,
it must have already been
out more than 90 days ago.
Yeah, so the interest for Ashika, though, has stayed pretty high. And then in June, when we got Season 4, the interest was up to 100.
I wonder what did that.
I guess just a new season in general. People probably just search something to do with Warzone or Ashika.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And right now, again, Ashika's hovering right there with Vondel in terms of trends, trending around 50 to 60. Again, Warzone Ranked is at like 20. So then I was like, I wonder what DMZ is like. DMZ is more often searched than Warzone Ranked as well. It's right there right now, hovering around like 35. So yeah, DMZ does have a viewer base for sure.
Yeah. We got to
sure.
play some DMZ, I guess.
I already wrote it down. We should do an episode this month because there's Vondel. We haven't played it in a while. There's all that new shit now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to have to buy some pay-to-win skins, man.
I mean, yeah, someone in Discord made a good point. I don't remember who said that. They're like, honestly, like, the pay-to-win shit doesn't matter because the stuff's so easy to find. And I completely agree with you.
It doesn't matter.
It's just the fact that they add pay-to-win stuff in and no one has been up in arms about it. But if some sort of pay-to-win thing came to Warzone, everyone would be furious. But since a lot of these people don't play DMZ, and the people that play DMZ are 45 years old, and they want every advantage they can get because they have a .28
they have
KD,
a 401k.
They're, of course, buying these bundles to start off with a UAV because they die if they don't have one. They die to the AI. So yeah. So DMZ more popular, and then yeah. So let me see what else. What other notes had I written down? Yeah. So Warzone Ranked search history now is basically what it is now. Is the same as what it was like a month and a half, 2 months before it even launched, which no one would be looking anything up at that point. Like the Warzone Ranked search history actually is probably lower now than it was at some point during Verdansk or Caldera. There were probably more people like Googling about a Warzone Ranked mode back then because more people wanted it than right now when we have it in Warzone 2. Yeah.
Yeah. And this isn't like a perfect representation of like how many people are playing it or watching
it just shows
or
general
care
internet
about it.
interest. Yeah.
But it's a very good one. It's a very good kind of benchmark or assessment of just people's interest in general.
Yeah,
I would say. And this also comports with everything I see on Twitter. It comports with everything I see on Twitch. It comports with my own experience. It comports with the experience of everyone in our Discord and the people I play with. And that is Warzone Ranked is dog shit, and I play Vondel or Ashika now.
Yeah.
That's, so like these trends do line up with everything I'm seeing in my own anecdotal kind of experience. And it's a real shame, but it isn't a huge surprise. And that was one thing we did also say before Ranked came out, but after it was announced, is like Ranked could do really well, but they're going to have to fix a lot of shit or like make things a lot better. And they just haven't done that. They haven't done anything. I mean, they nerfed snipers even more. Yeah. And then they took them out. And that's kind of all they've done. So it's not a surprise that the unpopular game mode, unranked, isn't very popular in ranked when you haven't changed anything that makes it unpopular.
Yep.
Yeah. It's a shame, but, whatever.
Yeah. And then I just searched another one right here. This is just Call of Duty Warzone. So in June of last year, the interest based on online searches is more than double, almost 3 times the amount as the general interest in Warzone right now. So you can see the peak was November 13th to the 19th when the game launched. It was at 100 on this trend scale. Right now, today, we're at a 20 out of 100 based on internet searches. During the middle of Caldera, just some random day in Caldera, it was at 75. So the game, there was more interest around Warzone in like
100%.
season 3 or 4 of Caldera than there is right now in Warzone 2. Yeah. That is crazy how much more interest there is.
And this is not that old of a game we're playing here, folks, by the way. Warzone 2 did not come out very long ago, whereas when it was more interesting, according to Google Trends, during Caldera, we're talking about a game that was already 2 years old. Whereas now, this game is like, what? I don't know, a number of months old?
9 months, 8 months old, yeah.
And people just don't care about it as much. So like Ranked Warzone 2, the mode everyone wanted on the new shiny game is less interesting than the old game that didn't have a ranked play at the time.
Yeah.
It's sad. We dropped the ball here.
And that does come down.
The ball here.
A lot of this is viewership, what people find interesting to watch. Yeah. So now I have pulled up, this is the last 5 years. So this is from when Warzone launched. So yeah, you just see a constant decline pretty much. Warzone 1, like during Verdansk, it was always pretty much around the same on these scales. Then there was the increase in popularity when Warzone 2 dropped, and now we are far and away at the lowest we've ever been in terms of the trends.
Since launch.
Since the launch of Warzone, period, yeah.
Or 2020, I guess. Yeah. It's crazy. And who knows where it goes.
Yeah.
That's the more interesting question. So let me remind all of you, by the way, Call of Duty is not dying. Call of Duty is not dead. Call of Duty is not going anywhere. Call of Duty is still going to be very popular in 5 years. No doubt, 100%. However, will it be Warzone? I mean, maybe not, actually. I don't know. But the problem isn't with Warzone and Warzone 2 and people are getting bored of it. The problem is Warzone 2 was too radical of a departure from Warzone 1, and that's why people don't enjoy it.
Yeah.
So, will they learn that? No, I don't think so. But maybe they'll stumble on it on accident, and the movement will be better, and snipers will be relevant or something. I don't know. But it's very hard for a competent dev studio to make a new game of a game people enjoy that has enough elements from what people enjoyed from the old game to keep everyone happy, while also adding some new innovative stuff so that people don't get mad or bored that you're just rehashing a game with updated graphics, but it's the same shit and we're all getting bored of it eventually. That's a tough line to straddle for a competent dev studio. But we don't have competent dev studios. We have one, maybe one and a half. Treyarch and then Raven, sorta. Those are the competent dev studios we have. So we'll see what happens with Warzone in the future. But here's one thing I can tell you, by the way. A new map is not going to save Big Map BR in Warzone 2. The problems with Al Mazrah have almost nothing to do with the map called Al Mazrah. So no matter how good Las Almas is as a Battle Royale map or a Warzone 2 map, it doesn't matter. The caliber of the map won't matter at all. Because it's either going to be a fantastic map, and then we're still all going to be like bored and thinking Warzone 2 is stale and too slow and boring. Or it's going to be a not good map, and then it's going to be all those things, plus the map sucks. So a new map is not going to save Warzone 2. We're going to see the exact same thing we saw with Ranked Warzone's release, which is a spike in interest because there's a new thing, and it's going to precipitously fall from there, irrespective of the caliber of the map. The problem is not with the map Al Mazrah. The problem is with the game itself.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. It's just there's just no interest for it. Yeah. A lot of people don't care. I don't even know what you do to kind of save it, bring it back. I'm not sure. Honestly, as dumb as it sounds, the best thing they could do to make this game popular again is simply bringing back Verdansk. I'm not kidding. That would do more for this game than anything else, because everyone would be so excited to play it again. All these people that haven't played it since 2020 will come back. Will they keep playing it? I don't know. Probably not.
Yeah, I don't
but
think
it will
would
bring
last.
in more excitement than anything, and it would lead to at least months of excitement. I mean, it would last a lot longer than it would. It'll do a lot more than Ranked did, much more than a Resurgence map.
It'll do more than Ranked, but I don't think it'll do it for longer than Ranked. I think if we got Verdansk back, it would be a huge spike for about a month, and then it would be just as dead as it is now. Because in a month's time, everyone's already made the content, everyone's already gotten over the nostalgia, and then they're going to be bored with Warzone 2 again. That's what I would imagine. Here's the big brain play. If you're Activision. You start working on Verdansk, the map. Not that it's a good map, but Tanner's right. It would get everyone to come back. But also, you fix snipers, you make them relevant again, and you allow shooting while not sliding, and you increase the base player movement speed by 10%. And once you've done all that, you say, okay, in season 5, Verdansk is coming back, plus all the changes I just said. So then you get all the people to come back just for Verdansk, and then they'll actually stick around because the game is fun now, because I can move my character. That would be the big brain play. That would be the big brain play. Will that happen? Of course not. No. Yeah. They will not. They might bring back Verdansk. I find it unlikely, but possible. They
will at
like,
some
fix
point,
the movement
but it may
speed.
Not be for 3 years or something.
Yeah,
we'll
it may not
absolutely
even be in
get
Warzone
Verdansk
2
back at some point.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, I mean in Warzone 2. I find it relatively unlikely, but I don't know. I think it's possible. But will they just increase movement speed? Bring back the fun dynamic gameplay of Warzone 1? No.
I guess actually that could happen once Infinity Ward's control ends at the end of this year. A lot of that stuff could actually really change if it's more like Raven and like Sledgehammer allowed to make decisions, especially if it's mostly Raven. I think we could definitely see some massive changes to the entire game, actually.
Maybe. I would like to. But I don't know if they would.
I mean, that's what happened in Warzone 1. Infinity Ward didn't do much at all the first year.
Yeah. Yeah, sure. Raven did do a lot of really big things too. Like increasing health. The first time that happened, that's like a huge change.
Yeah.
So Raven is willing to make big changes to the game. So yeah, maybe they would.
Yeah.
It's possible. But we gotta wait. We gotta wait until Infinity Ward is dissolved as a company. Or some patriots throw some Molotov cocktails into their office. Yeah, not that I condone that behavior, of course, or not that I'm, asking people to do that. I'm obviously genuinely not asking people to do that. Relax. But it would make Warzone 2 better. That's all I'm saying. So anyway.
So moving on, we kind of touched on this recently. If Vondel was going to stop the bleed. So I've got the Steam charts pulled up, and breaking news, June was the first month since the launch of Modern Warfare 2 Warzone 2 that Call of Duty did not lose players, according to the Steam chart. Did we gain anything? Not much, but we did not lose players. It was the first positive month. The month of June was the first positive month after having months of, they were in the red. They were really in the red. So the average players in June was up 1.6% compared to May, not Maine. Whereas May, the drop from the previous month, April, was minus 21%. So hey, they're still down. But this was the first month, literally, since Warzone 2 dropped, that the Steam player charts were not extremely negative. They were up 1.6%, the player base. So in June, the average players, 65,050 for a gain of 1,000 average players and 1.6%.
Yeah.
And that's for sure like Vondel. That's not because of ranked or anything. It's because Vondel came out and people are enjoying that map in general. So,
by the way,
shout out to COD for that.
Dude, you know who one of these 1,000 players would be? It would be like Cope.
Mm-hmm.
Like his friends play, but he's bored of it. But all of his friends are like, no, trust me, dude, Vondel's actually fun. And he's like, all right, fine, I'll play.
Yeah,
it's people like that. And there aren't that many of those people, but they do exist. And it's only possible because Vondel was good. But yes, I think that those types of people are what is reflected here.
Yeah. So that's cool.
That's pretty crazy, dude. November, 223,000 active average players. to June, 65,000. That's insane, bro.
Yeah, the craziest drop is from December to January, because when did Warzone launch? It was in November, wasn't it?
I think it was when the game launched, wasn't it?
No, maybe it was December actually, because it launched with season 1. So what date did season 1 come out?
Yeah, it was probably December. I don't know.
Well, because
I think it launched late November.
Google it real quick because I have this pulled up. Because
Okay.
that gain or that loss from December to January, they lost 75,000 average players, which is pretty crazy if that all happened in season 1 of Warzone 2. Yeah, that really
November
shows you.
16.
Okay. So November to December. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. Yep.
Lost an average of 110,000 players. The player base more than dropped by 50% just in season 1 of Warzone 2. That's how uninterested people were.
Because people came back, they wanted to give it a shot, and then they just gave up on it. Yeah.
It would be so interesting to see where this chart would be if they released a playable video game. Like, we could actually right now be hovering over 100,000 players still, just on the Steam charts alone, if they released a video game that was halfway decent.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, it just took them 6 months to fix anything, fix a single bug. So, yeah, of course people stopped.
And yeah, again, they just had to waste so much goddamn time changing things back to how they should have worked in the first place, like the gulag and the loadout drops and the blah, blah, blah. So anyway, yeah. But with all that said, we did play some Ashika yesterday for a couple of hours. Speaking of Warzone, we talked a little bit about Vondel. We talked a little bit about Maz. Now we want to talk about Ashika because we haven't talked about it in a while. So as we've said, we've been playing a lot of Vondel and we've been having a ton of fun on Vondel, all things considered. It is the premier game mode. If I'm going to play Call of Duty, what I want to do is I want to get on Vondel.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, I have friends. So when I was playing yesterday, I was playing with Tanner and Jake, and then Cope Cowboy wanted to play. But because the playlist system, Smile, XD, we could not play Vondel because there's no Vondel quads right now. So we said, okay, God damn it, Cope. We'll play Ashika quads because we're good friends. Not that Ashika sounded miserable to me or anything. I was actually pretty excited to give it a try again. Because I think I played it like a couple games a couple days ago. But besides that, I have not touched Ashika much at all since Vondel launched.
Like one match of Ashika.
Yeah, so we were like, okay, let's give Ashika another little fucking try. And it was interesting. And I will say this. Still more fun to me than playing Maz, for sure. It's still Resurgence.
Yeah.
But after having played Vondel, you miss a couple things that Ashika doesn't have. So Tanner made this point yesterday during the game, and then he's written a list down here of even more things. But there are features in Vondel that just don't exist in Ashika. So I want to start with those things specifically. One of them is the favorite supply boxes. So there are boxes that are like loot boxes that are like light blue color on Vondel. And I guess only Vondel, because I doubt these are on Maz, where you open it and you get whatever your favorited loadout is. Your two gun. Well, you just get the guns and the ammo for the guns. Very cool. And also that creates hot drops. So like we drop Stadium often, and you'll see from the sky if one of the 4 orange boxes at mid is actually a light blue, and people will fight over it. It's cool. Interesting dynamic. And these just don't exist on Ashika, we learned. Or we were profoundly unlucky, but I don't think they exist on Ashika. Yeah.
And that's what worries me, is if they'll ever exist on Ashika.
Yeah. Yeah, good question. Another thing is the reinforcement flare, which is the field upgrade that you shoot in the air and your teammate comes back. This is on Vondel. It's a nice addition to the game. It's not game changing, but it's cool. And pretty often, if you're playing quads, especially, and like one guy is alive, pretty often you'll find or have a flare. Or you can even go looking for one. So this is something that'll happen sometimes in Vondel. My 3 shit teammates will be dead, and Resurgence timer's over. So I will be like, okay, I'm going to go loot more medicine cabinets than I otherwise would to look for a flare. and then I'll sometimes get one. And that's a cool little dynamic. Doesn't exist on Ashika. What else does Vondel have? Static buy stations. Maybe the most important point here. Vondel has static buy stations. It has enough buy stations, and they are always in the same spot every match, always. And for some godforsaken reason, Ashika does not still.
Yep.
This is one thing we've complained about in the past, and we stand by it. Even if there are enough buys on Ashika, which there aren't, by the way, they're not static, and that pisses me off. Because one thing, like, again, on Vondel, we like to drop Stadium. Part of the reason we like to drop there is because we know the buy stations around that area. There's the one in the Stadium, and then if that one is too crazy, we can go north a little bit to the Windmill, and there's a buy station under there.
West.
Every game,
God, you're
always.
Miserable with compass directions, aren't you?
And
It's
that's
west.
what I said, was west.
There's also one to the north in that town, but Windmill is west.
Oh, yeah, across the water?
Yeah, you cross the water, you go in between those houses. There's another one.
Yeah. And this will determine, this is part of the reason why we like dropping Stadium, is the buys are always there, and we know where they are, so it adds to the flow of the match, because you also don't have to waste time opening your map and looking for a buy and plotting a course to get to the buy. If the buys are always in the same spot every time, you only have to do that a couple times until you memorize where the buy stations are, and you quickly just go there if you can. But when the buys aren't static, you have to waste a bunch of time opening your map, finding out where a buy is. Not that it takes forever, but on Ashika, it kind of does, because I wonder, is this buy station in the water, like underneath, or is it on ground level? I just don't know.
Yeah.
So, like, oops. But if they were static, I would know. So it's a lot of extra wasted time too that I didn't really think about until playing Ashika yesterday.
Yeah, you notice a lot of the issues.
It does waste time.
And it changes the hot drops too, because like say at like the little power station, power plant thing, that's a fun drop spot. If there is no buy station there immediately, that place is so much less hot, which sucks because it's really fun to fight there. Tilted Towers too, the two apartment buildings. That almost always has a buy station, but there are times it will not. If there are no buy stations, people are less likely to land there. It's less hot.
Yep.
Vondel's just not that way. So you have like super hot locations where people are always landing every single match because the layout's the same. They're like Stadium. There's the 4 orange rare chests in the middle. Up to 2 of those can be favorite supply boxes. There's the buy station right there. Yeah, it just really, really helps the flow. In the first match I played Ashika with randoms a few days ago or like a week ago, they wanted to land like neighborhood or some dumb shit. So I'm like, oh, okay, I'm over here in this area. I'm going to go over here to this buy station, buy something. I'm not kidding. I'm not thinking. I run up and I'm like, fuck, there's no buy here. And I open up my map. Sure enough, the closest buy was at like Tilted Towers. And I was at that one where like the underground tunnel comes out on like the kind of like the northeast side of the map more over by neighborhood, and there's just not a buy there. So I'm like, cool, now I have to go all far over here, and it just completely ruins the flow, because now I'm going to go over there and there are going to be guys that are already on that roof and I'm not even going to be able to get to a buy station. And then I don't have my loadout guns, and then I don't have fun. It's just shit. It's really shit. And I think most people do not realize how miserable it is playing a map that doesn't have static buy stations. And I don't think you're realizing how much better Ashika would be if they made the buy station static. It's just shit.
Yeah, and that's my question is, what do you gain from Activision's perspective by not having static buy stations? What does that add to the experience? Because I can't think of anything. I mean, it changes. I guess it changes where people are likely to drop. Is that worth it? No. If it adds anything at all, and I think that's the only thing I could maybe make an argument for, it doesn't add more than it detracts at all. So they need to make static buys on Ashika.
Yeah, so what is the reason they're not static buys? They don't realize because they don't play, so none of them know.
Exactly.
The average Infinity Ward dev would never realize that static buys, that they're actually better for the game because they don't use their brain. They just play the game, and they're not good at it either. They barely know how to do their job. They're certainly not good at playing the game itself, so they don't realize things like these. So you absolutely need to have static buys, I think.
Mm-hmm. For sure. Yeah.
But yeah, favorite supply boxes. I hope that and the reinforcement flare both come to Ashika in Season 4 Reloaded in a few days. I kind of have a feeling they will. Yeah. I hope they will. The static buys, though, I'm not sure about. Because, like, why does Vondel launch with them and we still just don't have them on Ashika?
Yeah, I think if we haven't gotten them by now, I don't think we ever will, actually.
Yeah.
Because like, when Moz had them, but Ashika didn't, it's like, okay, maybe. But yeah, like you said, they added Vondel with static buys. So that was like a conscious decision.
Yeah.
So if they were going to bring them to Ashika, I think they would have done them by now, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But who knows? Could be wrong. Maybe when Raven takes over, like you said.
Yeah, maybe at some point. Yeah, and then like the next thing with Ashika. So Vondel needs more redeployed drones, aka balloons. We call them balloons. It definitely needs more balloons, but this is even worse on Ashika because there are actually like 3. And so the thing with Vondel is, since there are so many buildings, if I'm on a roof of a building, what do? I jump off, pull my chute. I can go really far purposely to a balloon and then hit the balloon and then go even further. In Ashika, you can't. If there's a balloon 150 meters away, I'm not running to it just to then hit it. It doesn't make any sense. You hit it if it's close to you. It would speed up the flow so much, and I did not realize how slow Ashika was, and we were playing fucking Ashika quads, like the hottest one. It felt so much slower than any player account mode on Vondel, period. And it makes me realize, I think Ashika does now actually need more players, or I don't know. It just, something about the flow felt so wrong after playing Vondel. Vondel is like constant action, and it never feels like there are too many players. It just feels hot all the time, and it's exciting. I couldn't believe we were playing Ashika, and I'm like, I'm bored. Where is everyone? Like, we're going all around the map, and we can't fucking find people. And then the lobby's just dead, and there are 25 people left in the second circle.
That's a great point about the Vondel balloons, is that even though there aren't enough of them, you can at least get to them.
Yeah.
Whereas on Ashika, you can't. Like, the balloon's either very close to you, which I'm not kidding, happens once every maybe 8 games. So for example, we played Ashika for hours yesterday. I hit a balloon once. Not on Vondel, dude. On Vondel, we'll hit a balloon probably half of the games. We'll hit one once.
And a lot of people also hit them because I shoot them down all the time because I know people are going to use them.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. But that's a great point, is like on Vondel, it's a flat map with buildings also. So you can climb up to the top of Stadium and then jump off to a balloon. And maybe the only reason you climbed up to this top of Stadium was so you could get to the balloon. So even though there aren't enough of them, it's navigable anyway for that reason. Or you can climb onto the rooftop or take a rappel to the rooftop and then balloon over to a balloon.
Yep.
But that's literally not possible on Ashika, like you said. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
The map is not flat at all. And 95 times out of 100, if there's a balloon that requires you to travel, it just makes more sense to go where you need to go in a straight line than going to the balloon to take you to wherever you need to go. Exactly. That like almost never makes any sense on Ashika, whereas it makes sense all the time on Vondel.
Yeah, and we
need way more balloons.
I kind of go out of my way on Vondel a lot to hit these balloons. Like when we land Stadium, we'll often, once Stadium is looted, if there's people there we're fighting, my fallback is always go to the west to loot the little windmill area. Very often there's a balloon right there. So I'll be like, all right, we need to move into the gas. I'm going to rotate back a little bit to hit this balloon to then get into zone. But that just, Ashika doesn't flow that way. So you just never hit them. You don't see people hitting them. You forget they exist. They're so useless. There needs to be, I think, probably 3 times the amount of balloons on Ashika as there are. I think there are literally 3 or 4. Because Vondel, we counted yesterday, and I think that one match had 5. Remember? Because we even pointed it out, how it showed them coming in all slow. And then all it gave us, I think there were 5 or 6 balloons on Vondel. also needs more, but they are more attainable because
they're accessible. Exactly.
They're easier to get to.
And they make sense to access on Vondel. Yeah. Exactly.
Next thing I forgot about. The counter UAV spam on Ashika, still fucking miserable. How has a dev played this and not realized how annoying they are? They don't exist on Vondel. They do not exist as ground loot. You have to buy them. How often do you see them? Not kidding. 1 out of 50 games, maybe someone calls it.
I think I've seen like
Ashika,
3 total.
8 every single match. I'm not exaggerating. Every single match. It just makes it annoying. Again, it ruins the flow of Resurgence because I full some guy. I should get a ping where his teammates are. I don't because I'm scrambled by 8 counter UAVs.
Dude, true. It like takes away that aspect.
It takes away everything. You can't see the buy stations, and they're certainly not static, so I don't know where the fuck they're at. It's so annoying. It's so unnecessary. It's a dog shit streak that should not be in at all. Just add them in at buy station. It worked great on Vondel because people, you use them because you find them on Ashika and they're fucking annoying. They're not good in a sense that you are buying it over a UAV, over a precision airstrike. That's why they're not used on Vondel. They're just so popular on Ashika because they are fucking everywhere. It is so annoying. This should have been fixed 2 weeks after Ashika launched.
And this is one
again, they genuinely do not play or test or know anything about how their game operates. They have no clue.
Yep. And just like the balloons, this is something we said right away, was like, oh, this map needs more balloons. That was the first. That was maybe my first impression.
Yeah,
this map needs more balloons.
And I think and
then we also said remove counter UAVs. Yeah,
we had pointed out because we're like, there's so few balloons that it makes them almost entirely useless. Like people do not hit balloons on Ashika at all because you just can't find them. It's like, cool, I landed over here, I got a bunch of loot. There's no balloon close, so I can't get back into the action quick. And since it's such a small map, it dies off quickly. So it's like by the time I rotate into the next POI, 12 more people are out of the match already, and then it's just slow and boring. I cannot believe how slow and boring it was after playing Vondel now. Yeah. Next thing, Vondel recently got a buff to armor plates. Ashika did not. So certain areas you just can't find any. Like we were by castle in the area where I think they're like missiles or like anti-air or something like emplacement just to the, where is that compared to Ashika? Is that on the north side of, that's on the north side of castle, just to the north of the castle. Yeah. We were fighting that area a lot because that's where the gas was pulling. And there were actually like 3 chests in that whole area, and 2 of them were resurgence chests. Our whole team, we couldn't get to a buy because there wasn't a close buy that was in the zone. It was like at castle, and there was 10 teams inside the castle. So we can't get to a buy. And there are no chests, so you can't find plates anywhere. Like I had 0 plates for I think like 3 or 4 minutes of playing, which when you're constantly fighting and getting downed feels like an entire match. Like no one had plates. It's because there's nowhere really for us to rotate to. There's no balloon right there to hit to then rotate to another POI or get easily to a buy station. And it's just shit and boring. And Vondel has a great plate situation right now because they're loose everywhere. They're not loose on Ashika, really. They are, but they're also just not. They're mostly in like the resurgence chests. Vondel now, I mean, you find them everywhere. If you land stadium, the bleachers have just loose armor plates all over them. If you loot like the south side of the bleachers there, just loose, you'll probably find 5 or 6 plates. Yeah. And then you also have all the chests to hit, of course. And there's a buy station because they're static, and then you can buy armor boxes. Just, again, helps with the flow of the map.
I agree. There are not enough armor plates. I believe I was made fun of for this, by the way. So I'm glad you've come around. But,
well, it's just because you realize it more when Vondel comes out. You realize that there are much more.
Especially compared to Vondel. Yeah. But another thing, too, that compounds this problem is, again, if there were static buy stations, this would not be nearly as big of a problem because we would just buy more armor boxes. This is something we do on Vondel often. I think I would say like 33% of our games on Vondel, we will purchase an armor box at a buy station. Mm-hmm. And that's possible because there are fucking static buys. Whereas, and even if they're hot, if it's static, you know, like and Vondel's a different map, so I think it's easier in general to buy on Vondel. But still, like even if there's a hot one, it's like, okay, well, we'll smoke it. and then go buy an armor box and run back into the building. I'm thinking of floating district at this time.
Oh yeah.
But on Ashika, that's like not possible most of the time. Buys are just not obtainable, and I don't know where they are. And another thing about Ashika too, I don't know about you guys, but when I see a buy station icon on my map in Ashika, I don't really trust it because I don't know if it's underground or not. And there have been plenty of times where I go out of my way to go to a buy station, and then I learn it's in the dog shit subterranean area, and then I say, oh, fuck it, forget it. So that's another thing too on Vondel. If I see a buy station icon, I know that it's there. I know that it's on the same plane of existence as I am on, and I don't have to go underground fucking 5 stories to access it. Maybe. It's so dumb. So yeah, the armor plate situation, there are not enough loose armor plates. I totally agree. It's not like having too many armor plates is going to ruin the game mode. It's not like I'm losing fights because people have too many plates. It's so dumb. It doesn't add anything for there to be a scarcity of armor plates, because you're either going to die or not 95% of the time.
Yeah.
Before you have time to plate. So having more plates just means I will be on an even playing field in my next gunfight. It doesn't mean I'm going to have like an unfair advantage or I'm going to survive too long. So this is one thing, once again, like non-static buys, which is in the game and doesn't add anything to it.
Yeah.
It just detracts. It doesn't make any sense.
It makes that whole time too, since I didn't have plates, it was like useless having quick fix because I had to just sit there for 10 seconds every time to wait for my health to regen because I couldn't insert a plate and start it. That was very, very annoying.
I did notice that happened to me once too. Yeah. I was running out of gas and I was like pressing my plate button because I wanted health and I had none. So I was like, oh, cool.
Yeah. Plus, like the buy stations on Ashika are just in shit spots in general. Like the one at the little power plant there. Why is it not just upstairs? Why do I have to go in the building and then like jump down into like the little underground area? So then if I want to call in like a loadout or something, it's like you have to full on run out of the building or up to the roof to even get to your loadout. It's like, just, I don't know, put it at least in the first floor of the inside. Fuck, I'd rather just have it outside in the open. Up. I don't know.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then the ones down or underground, there's just a lot of shit locations for them. They just weren't very well thought out, I think.
The other thing is it's like half the buy stations are underground because that's half the playable area. But what you don't realize until you actually play your own game is that even though that's half of the square footage of your map, that's not where half the players are. Mm-hmm. So you need to have more buy stations up top because even though it's the same surface area, we don't need equal buy station coverage here because 80% of the players are on top. So we need that. Yeah, at least proportion of buys up.
Yep. Yeah. And then of course Ashika needs castle removed. It's the worst. Second worst, maybe the third worst POI in Resurgence history on Warzone. Yeah. Fucking miserable to fight there. We had so many circle endings there yesterday, now that I think about it.
Yeah, we sure did.
Like almost every match we're unfortunately at castle.
Ashika's a lot of fun everywhere but castle, and the problem with that is that castle's a fairly big POI, dead center of the map.
Yeah.
So you almost always are going to have to at some point.
And again, no balloons, so you have to rotate in instead of rotate over it.
Yep. Yeah. It's a really bad POI. Yeah. Nothing about it is good, fun, or interesting.
Yeah. All that being said, little while that Ashika feels like a map that just launched a week ago, and Vondel feels like it's been out for months and has had tweaks done to it. It feels polished. Mm-hmm. Ashika needs way more work in general. Again, the issues with Vondel, if you have issues, they're not being fixed because it's like the rooftops. That's never changing. But in terms of actual fixes they could do, Ashika needs so much more work. It feels like they just don't know what they're doing. It feels like actually they've just abandoned the map altogether. So we'll really see what happens here in Season 4 Reloaded if we get any sort of update to the map at all. It's not going to be in the patch notes if they do add like the favorite supply boxes and shit. But all of that definitely needs to come. Balloons, I don't even know if they do that. It's been 2 seasons now and they haven't added more.
So I don't know.
Yeah, good
But
questions.
Like,
yeah.
so basically, Vondel needs better first circles. They're not as horrible
Which
as they
they
were
have
on launch.
gotten better.
They've gotten slightly better, but they're still often.
Yeah.
We had one yesterday where Castle was dead center of the circle. So like
Yes.
80% of the map was going to be unplayable once the gas came in.
Yeah.
That needs to change. There needs to be more balloons, which again, even a bigger issue on Ashika though. And then Vondel needs most wanted contracts to get cash quickly. Maybe they're too strong actually. I don't know, but it's just, why are they still not in the map? Why is that not on the Trello
make sense
board?
that they're not in.
It's they're on Al Mazrah, they're on Ashika. Why do we not have them on Vondel? Bug or feature? Don't know. Is it on the Trello board? No. Did they post about it on COD updates? No. Did Infinity Ward post about it? No. Did Raven post about it? No. Does a single dev know that that's the case? No, probably not. They didn't know perks didn't work in Warzone for 3 months, so yeah.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. So yeah, I agree. Where I'm at with respect to Ashika is, because here's the thing for me. Let's assume they fixed every problem we just outlined, which they could do. They could do this easily, by the way. Favorite supply boxes, they could add reinforcement flares, they could make the buy station static, they can add more balloons, they could take CUAV out of the ground loot pool, they could add more loose plates. They couldn't remove Castle, but besides that, they could do everything else.
And they could do it all in days.
They could do it in, they could have it done by Tuesday. Will they do it? I don't know. Probably not. Some of the things they'll do, but we already talked about that. But here's the thing for me, again, if they did do all of those things, I still just would not like Ashika more than Vondel. And I think it's primarily because Castle exists. I would like to see all those changes made, and I would have more fun on Ashika if they did make all those changes. And don't get me wrong, I do have fun playing Ashika, but not as much fun as I have playing Vondel. So even if all of those problems were fixed, I'm still going to just prefer Vondel, because Castle just ruins the entire map for me. And it's a shame, because I imagine if Castle was like a better POI, then like, what if it was just like a flat courtyard? Like how much more fun would I have on Ashika? I would have a profound amount more fun, and it would feel different than Vondel still. So then I could actually pick between the two depending on what vibe I'm feeling. But now that's not in the calculation for me, because they do feel different. They have different vibes for sure. But because Castle exists, I almost don't really care what they fix. And I don't think they do either, because they probably see the player numbers. They see everyone prefers Vondel. I don't think Ashika is going to get much love ever in the future going forward.
I don't know. I mean, these changes are easy. But I'd be shocked if, like, especially if favorite supply boxes and reinforcement flares don't come in Season 4 Reloaded. I'd be actually shocked, because you need to just add them. Everyone likes them.
Yeah.
But it's like, they should come in this patch. Will they wait all the way till Season 5? Probably. Who knows? Yeah. It's funny, too, about Castle, because one of the High Moon devs I follow on Twitter specifically brags about how he was one of the designers on Castle. That's in his Twitter bio, is like things he's designed, and he has
so gross.
COD Warzone 2, and then he has in parentheses Castle.
That makes me so mad.
Me too. I'm like, do not
upset.
brag about that. You created one of the worst POIs in Warzone history. Don't feel good about it.
Yeah. Yeah. We should brigade him on Twitter. We're going to send out a tweet telling you guys to target harassment at that person.
He's the same absolute.
That's a joke.
That mentions something about True Game Data, and J God shouldn't have anything to say about weapon balancing, because yeah, he's a real dumb fuck. Real dumb fuck. Yeah.
Yeah,
real full of himself, dumb piece of shit. Yeah. Great campaign mission, but yeah, don't put it in multiplayer. I don't know. I don't even know about that.
Yeah, even that wouldn't be very fun.
Just,
it wasn't very fun on
not
DMZ
interesting about
when
it. There's too many little rooms
and proxies.
Oh
and, yeah,
sentries. Yeah,
there's so many things wrong with it. We've talked about it, but I'm done. So that's it, boys and girls. Hope you enjoyed. Yeah, kind of kind of talked about Warzone generally today. Hope you enjoyed. We will be back next week. We post our schedule on our Twitter and in our YouTube. We schedule the podcast episodes. We also post our schedule on Discord. So get connected and make sure you're engaging with our short form content. We're spending lots of money on it, and we need you to help us make it worthwhile. So spread the love.
Someone donated during this, but I exit out of it, so I can't scroll up and see who it was. Someone donated, I think, $20 and said for the AI fund.
Get shit on, I guess. Let's see.
Can you scroll up in chat? Because mine ends, or I don't even know where YouTube, like, where it would show that.
Yeah, I got it. Roy Nolan. Hopefully you're still here, buddy. AI fun, let's go. Haven't played COD in over a year, but the Dropshot is still my favorite podcast. And I listen to every public and bonus episode. You guys are awesome. Play some sax. Tanner will play some sax for you once we stop the recording. With a $20 super chat. Roy, thank you very much, dude. Very much appreciated. Sorry about that. Hopefully you're still here. But actually, if you're listening to the recording, you'll hear it because this will be included. But Roy, very kind of you. Yeah, keep giving us money for the AI fund also. You can donate, pigs. Patreon.com/thedropshot. Last and not least, best way to support the show. We do bonus episodes every month. You also get ad-free episodes and early access episodes. We do a monthly hangout and more. Check us out over there. See you next week. Stay humble.
Stay humble.